Regrets. I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. One of my biggest regrets was watching this game today. Oh, the putrid stank that's coming out of MetLife, and I'm not talking from the sulfur. Yikes. I think the fans summed it up best when they didn't basically show up at all. I mean, this was another putrid game. This was another difficult game to watch. This was another game dictated by a track coach, dictated by a Pop Warner coach. I think a Pop Warner team, a Pee Wee football team could have run a better offensive and a better game plan than Joe Judge ran. It's over. It's finally over. It's done. It's a 22-7 loss to the Washington football team. I mean, if you want to just say it like it is, thank God this season's over, because this is one of the worst seasons I've ever seen. 14-3 in all of Giants history. And like I said, I go back to the stinkers of the 70s. Jake Farm, 15-31, 103, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Antonio Gibson, 21 carries, 146 yards, 7 yards carry. Giants gave up 226 yards, 6.1 yards carry, a touchdown at 37 carries, longest run 27 yards. The middle of this defense is so beyond a suspect ever since we lost Dalvin Tomlinson. And the Giant fans want to sugarcoat it by making Patrick Graham the Messiah and that he's going to go off and be a head coach somewhere else. Well, goodbye, Patrick Graham. I don't care. You got a 20-something ranked defense. You can't get off the field on third down. Teams run on you all day long. Thank God the ineptitude of the Washington offense. Thank God for the ineptitude of them. Because if this was a quality offense, we probably would have lost by 50. 22-7 is still pretty good, though. 22-7 is still pretty good to lose by. The play on the end zone, someone explained to me, you have zero trust in your defense, that you're basically running a victory formation to get a few yards forward. And you don't run it once, but you run it twice. God, I missed Jason Garrett. Joe Judge, and you could blame Freddie Kitchens, and I do blame Freddie Kitchens, because then Joe Judge comes out at halftime and says, I know what my aptitude of my offense, they got to open it up a little bit. They got to open up the playbook. They are going off of what you are dictating, Joe. They are going off what you're telling them to do. They are not running amok and running whatever the hell they want to run. You could say whatever you want, Joe, but you are the cause of these issues. You are the cause of this team's problems. And the smooth sounds of Kenny G, well, you know what? He just kind of summed it up with that. I don't even know what the effort was on that catch. And we all know what it is.
Bringing you the smooth sounds of Kenny G. 72 million.
72 million flushed down the drain. Same with Leonard Williams. Same with Adoree Jackson. Same with Kyle Rudolph. Same with Danny Shelton. I mean, it's a farcical show. It's a joke. People are going to talk about the Lorenzo Carter 6'10" tackles on the sack. Yeah, okay, come on, 3 games of the season when we play 17 games. Okay, whatever. They're going to talk about Leonard Williams again. Leonard Williams with his 6.5 sacks for the season. He's gone back to the king of the almost sack, because what happens? Well, the defensive, when the secondary doesn't play as well as it should and could, he can't get the king of the coverage sacks. So, you have to think about that. You can't be the king of the coverage sack if your defense isn't playing, if your secondary is not covering well.
Hear ye, come one, come all, for it's the king of the coverage sack.
This team is so, and plus we have to add,
king of the almost sack.
This team is so, the construction of this team is just so mind-boggling. And I've never seen a team that was 4-12 at one point in time celebrating as much as they do with garbage plays. It's the end of the freaking season. You're celebrating garbage plays. And why the hell is Joe Judge calling timeouts at the end of the season? Get your players off the field. Go home. The season is done. Get out. Be done. And you want to sit there and call timeouts. And why didn't you go for it, Chicken Joe? Why didn't you go for it on the 4th and 3? Because you're a Chicken Joe. And then I love the fact that the Joe calls the timeout again. And the most inopportune times. And what happens? We're not going to get it what happened again. Then he calls the timeout to ice the kicker. Oh my God. It's like watching a Pop Warner team. It's watching a Pee Wee football coach. And I feel like I'm insulting Pop Warner teams. I mean, it's garbage. This whole team was constructed from top to bottom garbage. And you know what? And it's the second year of Joe Judge. So team is built more into his image. You didn't have a backup quarterback. You didn't have a quality backup quarterback. You didn't figure out you may need a backup quarterback going in with Daniel Jones into year 3. You didn't think that you might need a quality backup. No, you don't think that. You didn't pick up any defensive ends. You didn't really pick up any linebackers. I love Tay Crowder, but he's too undersized to play the middle. Leonard Williams is never worth the money that we gave him. Tay Crowder, and bless his heart, just reminds me of a guy that someone has to make the tackles. That's what he reminds of. If you ever played on a team like that when you're so bad, there's just someone has to make all the tackles. And it just happens to be Tay Crowder. Jake, like I said before, was not an NFL quarterback. I know everyone loved him when he came in against Dallas, and I kept saying he's not an NFL quarterback. He has no arm strength. He can't see over the offensive line. He can't push. He cannot make throws off his back foot, and even though you're not supposed to, he can't do that. He just can't make the NFL throws. So we just need to move away from it. I mean, were there good things about this team in this season? Sure. Azeez Ojulari. He had his moments, but again, like I said, he was going to get his sacks because he was going to get opportunities to play, not because I thought he was going to be the best player on the field. Xavier McKinney showed the promise that we thought he had. You know, Saquon Barkley behind a putrid line did have a 100-yard rushing game. I guess that's something, right? Kyle Rudolph had 4 catches for 17 yards. I think that brings his catch total to 6 catches for just joking. Evan Ingram, well, you know, Evan didn't drop the ball today, so that was a good thing. So, you know, we have highlights. And the people are going to say, well, the defense just plays masterfully. At times, it's just often, you know, the defense, I've seen some bad Giant teams that had some great Giant defenses that kept the Giants in did not give up 30, 40, 22 points, 15 points, 28 points, whatever. I've seen that. It's just the season needs to end. The season, thank God, is mercifully over. We have to pray and hope for it's Black Monday. I would have fired Joe Judge right when Joe Judge called that first timeout. I would have fired him right then and there. As soon as I saw his offense run the same, basically victory formation that they were going to run a quarterback sneak in, I was done with this team. I was just done with him. I'm done with this head coach. He's a joke of a head coach. It's funny that even the announcers on TV are making fun of Joe Judge. They're making fun of Joe Judge, and they're making fun of the Giants. When the hell did that happen? When did we become the butt of jokes? Because evidently we are the butt of jokes right now. And I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do. I don't know how you muddle along and how you muddle forward. I don't know. We are going to have an epic live stream, and that's going to be tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not around, join in for that, because that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be interesting. I don't think anyone's safe because I'm kind of ticked off again. And it's funny, you get ticked off, but you know it was going to happen. So why the hell? And people are like, why the hell are you going to get ticked off? You know it was going to freaking happen. You know this train wreck was going to come into the station and just blow up. I mean, you just knew it. It was going to be, they were going to implode on themselves like they always do. You just have to be, it's done. It's mercifully done. And I think that's the way we have to look at this as an organization. We have to move forward. And the first thing I would do moving forward is fire Joe Judge first thing Monday morning. But that's just me. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, we'll see you at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for our Sunday rant. And then, of course, we'll have our video of after the debacle. So subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Tired of this team. So you know what, guys? I'll see you at 9. Peace.